For the first unit, we will do reading logs per week, or maybe 2 per week, depending upon how long our assignments are. When we do our reading logs, I want to go over just some of the specifics so that you understand what you're supposed to do. So in the top corner, it asks for the date. You can just put the date that this was assigned or the date that you started, or whatever you prefer. The reading assignment, this would be the chapters that you are going to be writing about. So if we were thinking, say, chapter 1, which we'll be going over in class and doing some of this, you would put chapter 1, something like that. So global issue, that is the piece that we talked about on our first day, and we will continue to talk about the global issue. There will be some information linked on Schoology to help you with this, but generally what you want to think about it as is a universal topic that's being addressed in the reading. So universal topics would be maybe something like man's inhumanity to man, or parent-child relationships, or abusive marriages, or environmental destruction, or something like that. Okay, so it can run the gamut of topics. And then specifically, you would want to then clarify what the author is saying about that global issue. That's the specific theme or message. That's what is being talked about there. So if we're talking about parental relationship with the child, it might be something like an abusive mother leads to a tragic childhood. I don't know, something like that. So it's the message that the author's trying to convey. So then you get to this first kind of quadrant of the assignment, your knowledge and understanding of the reading. For each chapter, I want 3 bullet points of events that are indicated in the chapter, okay? And these could be just the 3 most important, the ones that you remember the most, that sort of thing. In this right quadrant is some global issue research and summary of that research. So you go back up, and let's just say we're talking about child abuse. You're going to research child abuse. In this case, maybe research child abuse in Afghanistan, since this novel is taking place in Afghanistan. Summarize 1 or 2 important elements of that research, and then copy and paste the website into the bottom portion. In the bottom left quadrant, we have a key passage of 20 lines. So what you're going to do is you're going to type the page number, the first word, and the last word of a passage that you find to be the most compelling. And then the page number in parentheses after. That will help me know where that passage is from. And each key passage will represent a different chunk of the reading. So you're going to have 2 key passages. The first one, you're going to write about something that happens in the first half of the reading. And then the second one, you'll take the second half of the reading, just so that you're not always focusing on one part or the other. Then you're going to take 1 specific quotation from that key passage and type it in quotation 1, a different specific quotation from that passage and type it in quotation 2, and then a third specific quotation from that passage. And just a reminder, quotation just means word for word from the text. On the right-hand side, you are correlating your analysis to the quotation. And in that case, you want to talk about authorial choices and your interpretations and conclusions relevant to that quotation and relevant to the theme or message. For some of you, I think authorial choices are pretty easy, but for others, I have linked the Approach to Novel document so that you can look back and see what choices you might be focusing on. And then same with the interpretations and conclusions portion. I have some close reading questions for you that might help you better respond to that component. So you will do one technique, one interpretation of that technique or why you think that's relevant to the theme or message, and one conclusion about that. And then you move on to quotation 2 and then quotation 3. And then you do the same thing for a second key passage. And like I said, we're going to practice this in class, and then you'll be asked to do it on your own for the rest of the reading. So that's the basic form of the reading log. We'll practice it in class, and then your next chapters, it'll be on your own. Thank you.